Hello guys, I am Netezegile Nyembe and with me is the lovely
Stephen Solomon.
and today we will be talking about Orania. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and hit on that notification bell so that you would know each and every time we post a video. And please note that we are just giving out our subjective opinions and most of the things we'll be saying are just allegedly. We don't speak in fact. So back to Orania.
Okay, guys, as you've heard, we don't speak in facts, but yeah, it's a very highly political topic. So, firstly, I think it would be very important to establish how the making of Orania, the reason behind it. So, basically, this is a land that is owned by Afrikaners, and they say they strive for three things: owning their land, institutions, and labor. And what tricked me is the word labor, because what we know is throughout the whole of South Africa we are used to black people mostly being the ones who are doing most of the labor, especially domestic work. But currently, on an article published by ENCA, they stated that there were reporters during the elections period stating that they've seen the shock of their lives, like white people doing domestic work. So I think it's not that bad as it sounds like, don't you think?
Okay, if I may ask, what do you mean white people doing their own work? You mean exclusively in Orania or somewhere else?
In Orania.
That's how they want to keep it. They want to keep to themselves. So with regards to everything, they want to do themselves. It's not like they have black managers and whatever. Everything, the managers, everyone there has to be purely white and Afrikaans. And speaking of ENCA, there's an article I read from April 2019 where they say that black people are welcomed if only they could assimilate into the culture from Orania, meaning that they have to become Africans, and I think that is entirely bullshit.
What does that mean?
You know what that means. I mean, I don't want to say the word.
Like, I didn't even get it right, but anyway. So the thing is, as she said, that it's mostly Afrikaners and whatever, which is a good thing. But I think I get their perspective when they say that they've been shocked because they're used to the whole apartheid era and whatever. But it shows Guti the not discriminating on anybody.
Yeah, on an article from BBC Brits from October 2014, there's a John Stridham who said that they are not against black people, but they are for themselves, meaning that they want to preserve their culture as Africans, meaning like these people, they feel threatened to their culture or Afrikanerness will eventually be extinct. So I think when it comes to this, there's nothing wrong with this. Like, I don't think it's that much of a big deal because even Emalukshini, it is us black people only, and I find it find that way. So why do we have to intrude in what they want? As long as they don't affect her.
It's not that big of a deal because one of the factors that shows that they strive to not being discriminative is that they still participated in elections. And what really shocked me is the EFF members there, and that shows that there's been like a 3.73% of voters for EFF, and we know what the EFF strives for black people, so that is quite alarming. But it shows that okay, it's a very good thing. They're not discriminating on anybody.
Yeah, but one thing we should take note of is the fact that they have statues of apartheid prime ministers, the old flag, and the fact that there's someone who says that Martin Camp or whatever, who's saying he sees nothing wrong with apartheid. So what is your perspective?
He's crazy, obviously.
Yeah.
But okay, as much as they've been, apartheid thing is okay, that is alarming. But maybe they're exercising the thing, the autonomy. Maybe there's no malicious intent behind it.
And I think like when it comes to staff name, there will always be the good and the bad side. I remember this other time where I think it was so many years ago where I saw this other video of a woman. I will try to attach it if I will be able to find it from YouTube and give credit. That white woman said something like, God intended that black people be led by whites, and it is so wrong now that we have the black president. It is against the cause of nature.
So this is Owendale,
This is Owen.
a community that you and your husband founded?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's special about it?
Special about it is the fact that we are only white people staying in the town.
Yeah.
Only white people are allowed to buy in the town.
And I saw a black gentleman on his way out just now.
That's right, they're working for us, but they're not allowed to stay in the town. We, as white people, aren't supposed to be ruled by blacks.
Now, from the way we look at it, you see, you're not ruled by blacks. It's basically a multiracial government. And second of all, what would be the problem with having blacks in the government anyway?
Just the fact that because of our religion, it's not meant to be that way. God created not even animal as equal. If you look at nature, nothing in the nature is equal. Basically what it boils down to is he says those that I chose,
And who did he choose?
the white people.
So where does that leave non-whites?
Well, the way we see it, they've got no chance.
What about if if you're like 1/16th non-white,
No.
1/32nd, 1/64th?
That's basically what it all boils down to. God doesn't want us to mix, and that's why we stay apart from the blacks.
You make it sound almost as though we're a different species.
Could be.
And as you know, there's this other speech from a white apartheid activist. I think he was a president here in South Africa, who says that black people and white people, although they look the same, but they are not the same. In as much as you won't say a tiger and a cat are the same, an alligator and a lizard is the same, something along those lines. So we have those kind of bad people from Orania, and then we have the others who just say their main aim is to just preserve their culture. So I don't know.
But it becomes a problem if they want to preserve their cultures, the same nation or whatever, if they're not on the same page. If the other half who believes that, who still believes the protocols of apartheid, and the others are on the non-discriminative whatever. So it becomes alarming. There's no
common ground.
So I mean, but
yeah,
it's
but
very
I think that is
political.
that is something that is quite common. You can't be able to control everyone, even with political parties. You understand? There is, for example, the good side of the ANC and the corrupt side of the ANC, all allegedly, and then we have EFF, those who seem racist, but I'm not saying that they are, and then there are those who are quite accommodative to everyone. So I think that's the problem with large groups.
But to me, I understand what you're saying, but I feel like Orania is a very small land, small nation, and I think as they want to preserve their culture and whatever, they should get on the same ground, because as much as when you put South Africa on the spot, it is bound to happen, because we are millions and whatever, so there won't be a large amount of people getting together on a common ground. But Orania is a very small place.
So I have a question for you, Nem. Let's say you establish your own political party that is based on the values of I don't know, bettering black people's lives, as you know, they are poor and whatnot. So what I want to know is, whilst you fight against white capitalism and everything, don't you think more people in your absence would be bazoqala bayenza izinto ezisinakho racist, bakhohlwe the main objective, better from that? Don't you think it's bound to happen?
But I think there's a difference between a political party and people who want to establish themselves as an independent whatever. In a party, it's political, it's bound to lead to other I don't know, controversies. But I feel like as Orania, I mean, there should be a common ground.
So are you saying that even here in South Africa we see things from the same perspective, as we are one as a country? Don't.
As I said before, you can't compare South Africa and Orania. South Africa is it's a country. There are a lot of people, millions. So you can't compare it to maybe a
Okay.
1,000 to 5,000 people. You see. So I feel like
So are you saying that they should see things the same way?
I mean, they want to be independent Afrikaner people. So I mean, they
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
So South Africa have Zulus, Tongas, and whatever. So there's bound to be differences, but y'all are Afrikaners together. So why the fuck?
Okay, so let's just agree to disagree on that part. But there's a Karel Boshoff Jr. and it's still from the BBC article, right? And what he says is, we don't fit in easily with the new South Africa. It, meaning Orania, was an answer to not dominating others and not be dominated. Okay, so with apartheid coming up, so I think this person, what he means is, it was okay back then for them to lead. You understand that, because they were dominating us. But now when the wheels have turned, and they haven't, because we are not dominating anybody, right? But seeing that we have AMA leaders who are black and whatnot, he feels though as if we are dominating them in such a way. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's a free nation. What the fuck is it talking about? I mean, as an African or whoever white people, they are free to form their own political parties. If he doesn't like what the ANC or the EFF or whatever is doing, I mean, there's the freedom of autonomy. So I feel like he's trying to spark some arguments which are very silly and it's just pure bullshit.
Yeah. So overall, what do you see about what do you think about what they are doing? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you for or against Orania?
I mean, I have to say I'm on the fence for this one. I mean, in politics, you can't say there's always a right side and a wrong side. I mean, things change like drastically. As you said, that like the half people still favor apartheid and others are like super on equality and whatever. But what I'm saying is like they can do whatever they want to do, but let not be done in like malicious intent, because that will be spark very, very huge problems, and we don't want to go back as a nation.
Yeah. I hate to admit it, but you are right on that one.
I'm always right. What are you talking about?
And what I have to say, guys, is I certainly don't have a problem with anybody who hates me because of the color of my skin or whatnot, as long as it does not affect me in any way. So if that is how they want to keep things with themselves without any blacks, then it's okay. You understand?
Yeah, they can do whatever. I mean,
whatever rocks their boat.
Whatever rocks their boat. But it shows that, South Africa is very, it's going in a left direction. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, like in the left direction. But I feel like I'm asking myself, like, what made them want to do their own exercise their own thingies, have their own land? Like, what did they see wrong in South Africa to a point that they feel like as Afrikaners they are not their culture is not propelled or anything like that? So it's one of the
That's a very good question, and I hope you guys will share your thoughts on it. And please note that we are allowed to see things from a different perspective, so don't forget to leave your comments on the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and click